Hi, I'm Cassie, perinatal yoga teacher and exercise specialist, and today I'm going to walk you through 5 essential postpartum strengthening exercises. So these are exercises that replicate movements you do every single day as a new mom. So it might seem kind of silly to do it in a workout video, but by doing it here, you can focus on your form so that when you do these movements in your everyday life, you have created that muscle memory and strengthen those muscles to allow you to do those movements with more ease and less pain. I also have a 5 essential postpartum stretches video that you can check out here. Great to pair with this video. All you're gonna need today is either one dumbbell. You can grab one that is roughly your baby's weight, or maybe double your baby's weight so that you're building that strength up, or you can use your baby as your weight. So grab that and come join me on your mat. We're gonna start with 360-degree breathing, which will help you to connect with your core and to strengthen it. Notably, it is the most boring exercise, but I promise you it is so worth it to train your body how to breathe and engage in this way. To do this, come to sit. I'm sitting on 2 yoga blocks, but you can do this just sitting on the floor or even in a chair or a birth ball. Bring your hands around your rib cage. First, 4 fingers wrap in front, thumb wraps towards the side and back. And then take a big inhale, expanding all around your rib cage. Send that breath down into the belly, sides back, down to the pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, lightly lift your pelvic floor, blowing all of the air out, rib cage together. Inhale, expand around the ribs. Send that breath down to the belly, down to the pelvic floor, like a big balloon, and then exhale, lifting up on the pelvic floor, blow all of that air out, activating the core. Try to hold it for a second at the bottom. Big breath in, keep that going. Exhale, start with that lift to the pelvic floor. Thinking of a big zipper from your pubic bone up to your ribs, pulling everything up and together. Hip points together, good, ribs together. Good. And then last one, big inhale. Full exhale. And release. All right, from here we're gonna come into a squat. You can place whatever you're sitting on aside. Grab your weight or your baby. You can hold them in the front. Feet are a little bit wider than your hips, toes turn slightly out. And then as you inhale, you're gonna sit straight back into your glutes. Exhale, push into your feet to stand back up, thinking of that same breath that we did in the beginning. I'll show you a side view so that you can see here. Here we go. Inhale, sit straight back into the glutes, push into your feet to stand up, thinking of stacking your rib cage over your pelvis. Inhale down, exhale up. Note if you are overly arching your hips or rounding them under, and try to find that neutral position. You can even do this sitting into a chair to help you feel that. And then you can think about how you do this movement every single day when you go to pick something up. Last 2. Last 1. From here, we're gonna come into a deadlift. So this is put your baby down in a crib, pick them up anytime you are bending down, pick up some toys on the floor. You probably do this, I don't know, I know I do this at least 10 to 15 times a day. You can grab either side of your weight, or you can hold your baby close into your chest here. Slight bend in the knees. Feet are hip width distance apart. You're going to send your hips straight back and then initiate with the hips coming up to stand. Again, careful that you're not pushing your hips forward at the top, but finding that stack of your rib cage over your pelvis. So if you have a dumbbell, you can just hold it in front of you, thinking that you're squeezing something in your armpits. I like to think of trying to squeeze a phone in my armpits that I don't want to drop. Here we go. Inhale, hips go straight back, slide that weight along your legs, and then press into the feet, stand straight up. Again, inhale back, exhale up. Keep that weight tight to your body, armpits squeezed. That'll help you to not feel this quite as much in your low back, but you are still strengthening your lower back. And if you're having trouble feeling this hinge, you can also bring your fingers without weights into your hip creases to help them initiate hips back and then straight up so that you're not overly pinching the hip points down, pinching your fingers if you were to arch your back. And last couple, go straight back and then lead with the hips. So torso is stacked, rib cage over hips. And relax. All right. We're gonna move on to a row, strengthening your mid back. When you're holding a baby all the time, your chest gets really kind of tight and your back can get rounded and weak. So we're gonna help to strengthen those muscles. You are going to grab your weight. Actually, let's hold on to either side of the weight again. If you're holding your baby, you can hold them kind of like, it's hard to demonstrate a baby with a weight underneath them like this. So grabbing their head, their butt, supporting them. And then you are going to come to that same hinged over position like you just did for that deadlift, except you're gonna bring the weight down. If two legs like this parallel bothers your lower back, you can also stagger your feet, bringing one foot in front, the other foot back. You're going to row your weight right in towards your hips, elbows to the ceiling, thinking of squeezing the shoulder blades together and down at the top, and then re-extend. You can look down if you're holding your baby, pull them in towards you, and then down. This one is a little harder, notably with a baby. And join me when you're ready. Inhale as you lengthen down. Exhale, think of initiating with the shoulder blades squeezing together and down, not by using your arms to pull the weight up. So shoulder blades pull, and then your hands are just like hooks, holding on to that weight. Good. Hold it for a second at the top, and then slow and control to lower it down. Good. Last two. Last one. All right. Comment below if you did that with a baby. I would love to know how it went. I know I've done that with my toddler before, but it is tricky. Last exercise, we are going to be doing some glute bridges because you need strong glutes to help position your pelvis for pelvic floor function, to help support your spine, so many things. So come to your back. You can take, this is the fun one. I know my toddler, who is now about 30 pounds, loves to do this sitting on my hips. Weight can come to your hips. Of course, you can do this without weight. If your baby is sitting, you can sit them on your hips, and then your heels are underneath your knees, hip width distance. You're going to lift your hips up. Now you're gonna wanna find that squeeze of your glutes at the top, and then lower back down. Again, here, just like really every movement we did, you wanna think of that stack of keeping the rib cage and the pelvis in one line, or even at the top here, you can bring the hips a little bit higher versus leaving the hips behind. So initiate with your hips, squeeze the glutes at the top, and then tap them down. If you wanna make this a little harder, hover your hips at the bottom. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Join me when you're ready. Movement comes from the hips. Hips. Breathe out as you lift. Find that glute squeeze at the top. If you're feeling this more so in your lower back, I want you to maybe bring a hand to your glutes to help you make that connection. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thanks for joining me. If you liked today's video, consider subscribing to my channel. I release a new video here every Monday. And check out my 5 essential postpartum stretches. That is a great complement to this strengthening exercises video. So that video is right here, the 5 essential stretches that just feel so good when you are a new mom.